Hey everybody, Captain Algebra here, and welcome to March of 2018 Pickups. I got quite a bit this month, so stay tuned and see what I got. Alright, so let's get started. We're going to start this off with my LJN race with Back in the Day Gamer and Alan Jenks. I decided not to do any gameplay footage for these because once I'm done with the race, I'm actually going to do a ranking of all the LJN games, and I'll include gameplay footage at that point. So, here we go. First of all, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which you saw in my last VGM box. I also got that, but the day before the VGM box came, I had bought that at the game store. We got Spider-Man Return to the Sinister Six. We've got Wolverine, which is in excellent condition. Then these next two I actually found in Florida when I was on spring break. We got The Incredible Crash Dummies and Alien 3. That one's got a little label damage, but those are two that I had never seen in the wild before, so as soon as I saw them, I grabbed them up. So like I said, I'll have gameplay footage when I actually finish my LJN quest. Moving on, a couple other games that I did not have a chance to do gameplay footage for just because I've got them more recently. These first two I just got yesterday, and instead of recording gameplay footage, I decided to do a live stream. And so we got Faceball 2000, which is just a little shooter game. But you go around as a smiley face shooting other smiley faces. It's a pretty basic game, but it's pretty fun. Then I also got Perfect Dark Zero. Haven't tried this game yet because this one actually doesn't work, so I have to go back to the game store, and he had a couple other copies, so I'll exchange it. And a couple PS4 games. I had to go to GameStop with my nephew because we got him a GameStop gift card for his birthday. So I picked up Evolve, which had a pretty cool premise, how you, as you go on, you evolve and you can attack better and get stronger and faster and stuff. So definitely excited to try that. And then Area, the Collector's Edition, or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not, but this is an action RPG, and so I've been into action RPGs lately. So I thought I'd check this out. It's all about music. Your weapons are based on musical instruments. So far it seemed okay. I didn't play it a lot just when Sophie was sleeping. It does include a soundtrack with it. Really enjoy the music. Visuals are great, but it seems kind of gets a little choppy when a lot of enemies are on the screen. So hopefully that doesn't continue, but definitely look forward to trying that out. Next, also at GameStop, picked up a Wii U Pro Controller. Needed that. And you'll see why in a little bit. Next thing came up with, Alan Jenks and I had a little trade since I had that extra Bill and Ted's Excellent Video Game Adventure, and I also got Star Fox Zero in my last Video Games Monthly box that I already had. We decided to make a trade, so I got Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duel Stories. No gameplay of this just because I had no idea what I'm doing. It's a card game. So that was for Bill and Ted's game, and then Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which I traded for the Star Fox game. So Mario Donkey Kong is really cool. It's basically like a sequel to the Donkey Kong game on Game Boy. In this time, Donkey Kong sees a commercial for these mini Marios, but they're all sold out. So he goes right across the street to the factory, steals all of them, and Mario chases them down. So each level is broken into two sections, and you have to get a key to get to the next section, and then to finally finish the level. And after about every few levels, there's a boss fight with Donkey Kong where you throw barrels at him and stuff. I only made it through the first world, so I don't know if the boss battles change after that, but you can swing on wires to get higher. You can do triple jumps. You can do handstand jumps. So it's really fun. If you like Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, this one's really good as well. So thanks, Alan, for that. I'm a little worried that if he beats me in the LJN race, it's going to be my fault because I traded him an LJN game. But it's all good. Moving on, I got a couple strategy guides. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Jet Force Gemini, Maximo Ghost to Glory, and then Pac-Man World. So if I see strategy guides for cheap, I like to pick them up. They look good on the shelf. After that, let's get into Toys R Us. Before it was announced that it was going out of business, it was actually having a sale on Disney Infinity 3.0 starter pack, so I did pick up the Wii U version, and the Xbox 360 version, because they were selling these for $2 a piece, brand new. So I opened up the Wii U version one. Haven't done the Xbox 360 yet, but I thought it'd be a great thing for my wife and I to play together. She's not a huge gamer, but I thought she could get into that because my buddy Brian and his wife used to play it. So that's part of why I got the Wii U Pro Controller, just because that way I can use the gamepad and she can use the Pro Controller, or vice versa. But I tried a little bit. Seems like a lot of fun, but I wanted more characters. So I was at the game store yesterday when I picked up Baseball 2000 and Perfect Dark Zero, and there's a ton of the Infinity characters there. And Justin says he'd give me a good deal. He just wants to get rid of them. So he gave me about 100 figures, which you can see in the picture here, with including power discs and play sets. And then also in the box were a couple Skylanders. But then we also have the first Disney Infinity, Disney Infinity 2.0. Those cases aren't in great shape. And then Disney Infinity 3.0 for the Xbox One. So that one I'll be getting rid of since I don't have an Xbox One. Also have an extra Xbox 360 base, and then a Nintendo 3DS base. So that was cool. So I'm looking forward to trying those. Now we got more characters and play sets. Definitely opens up the game a little bit more for my wife and I. So if you played Disney Infinity at all, let me know what you think about it. Got a really good deal on that stuff. So yeah. Moving on, another NES game that I got, and that was Gary Kitchen's Battle Tank. So when I was buying a couple NES games at Game Corner, saw this, I was like, all right, sounds interesting, try it out. It's an okay game. So you go around shooting other tanks, and there's a radar and stuff, and you can keep moving while having your radar up. So you just gotta be careful, because sometimes you're moving too fast, and then you shoot past the target and they hit you and stuff. Takes a little bit to get used to of how to move forward and to increase your speed, and also to adjust your tank gun higher and lower. But it's an okay game for just a couple bucks. Then also at the game store, we picked up Cruisin' Exotica. So Cruisin' Exotica was the last Cruisin' game that I did not have for the Nintendo 64. I loved Cruisin' USA, played it all the time as a kid. Cruisin' World was a lot of fun, but it seemed much harder. So I picked this up. A little disappointed in this one. I don't think it looks as good as the other two. And I don't know if there's a way to get different cars. Like I know in Cruisin' USA, if you held 3 of the C buttons, you could get like the police car and the school bus and stuff. So if there's a way, let me know. I don't know how to do it yet. But it's an okay game. Then we got a couple PlayStation and Wii games. First one, Nuclear Strike, which is the sequel to Soviet Strike. So Nuclear Strike was a game I played a lot as a kid with my buddy Grant. He had it for Nintendo 64. It's just a fun little helicopter game. Go around shooting stuff with missiles and rockets and machine guns in your helicopter. It's pretty fun. Got it for only a couple bucks. And then also at the same store, picked up Punch-Out on the Wii. So this was a game I'd been wanting for a while, but always saw it as it was a little too expensive for me. So I finally found it for maybe 10 bucks. And I really like how it plays. It's a lot of fun, very obviously similar to the original Punch-Out and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the NES. Got a lot of the same characters. I went to the minor circuit, and just in that, you got Glass Joe, Von Kaiser, and King Hippo. And then in the major circuit, the first fighter is Piston Honda. So that's really cool. They still have signs that tell you when to hit them or when to move. You can get stars and knock them out that way. So it's really cool. I like how they kept King Hippo, just had to punch him in the face and then punch him in the gut. But they added a little bit of stuff to it to update it, which is cool. So definitely, like, if you like Punch-Out, give that one a try. Then went to Goodwill, and I almost never find anything at Goodwill. But I actually saw a couple games that I thought was worthwhile for $3 a piece. So we got Wipeout, the game on the Wii. So Wipeout was a show. When it first came out, I used to watch it all the time. I just thought it was hilarious. I always wanted to go on it. So I saw this game for $3. It's like, give it a shot. It's an okay game. The controls are kind of wonky sometimes, but I think it could be a fun little party game. I mean, it's not great, but for $3, definitely give it a shot. And then Prince of Persia: Warriors Within for the PS2. So I haven't played any of the Prince of Persia games, but they always seemed interesting. So I popped this in and tried it. It reminds me of a mix between God of War and Assassin's Creed. With God of War, just because the hack and slash nature and different weapons do different attacks, and then Assassin's Creed because you can run on walls and jump and stuff like that. Didn't play very much of it. I actually got through the tutorial part and got to the next part and then got stuck right away. Just got to put a little more time into it, but seems like a lot of fun. Definitely a game I'm interested in. Next, we'll go to some Super Nintendo games. First one we got was Dennis the Menace. So this is a platformer game similar to Home Alone. And this one you're in, you start off in Mr. Wilson's house. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to be doing. But you have a courage meter. It's kind of like your health bar. And you're running around collecting these coins, avoiding obstacles, and avoiding Mr. Wilson. I have yet to figure out how to get past Mr. Wilson. When I first bought it, I actually watched James and Mike Monday play it, and they seem to have a really tough job jumping on things. And I think it's because they weren't using the run button, because I didn't really have any trouble jumping up onto certain platforms and stuff. So I don't know what they're doing. But for only a couple bucks, it wasn't bad. Then we've got Space Ace. So this was an arcade game where at certain times you had to press a button or do a certain direction. So similar to that, except this time you're actually moving Ace. And it's repetition, memorizing what to do, and you can get through it. I was terrible the first time I played it. The second time I did a lot better. So it's kind of fun once you figure out where to go and stuff, but it's a lot of trial by error. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you completely screw up. Next, we've got The Incredible Hulk. So I picked that one hoping it's similar to like War of the Gems or Mutant Apocalypse on the Super Nintendo. It's not. Kind of disappointed. And you think of Hulk, this big, strong, fast guy who just, Hulk smash all the things. But he takes like multiple hits to knock out an enemy. Some enemy fire is very hard to avoid. The boss battle against Rhino in the first level is very boring. He just charges at you and you have to punch him at the right time, jump over him, and he just keeps going back and forth until you beat him. You can add strength. If you run out of strength, you turn into Bruce Banner, and then you've got a gun that has 2 bullets, and that's it. So if you get to that point, you're basically done, especially if you're against, a boss. But the more I played it, I liked it a little bit more once I figured out controls. There were some crates. I had no idea how you could smash them. I tried punching them, I tried uppercutting, nothing. Then I figured out if you press 2 of the buttons together, you do this little like hand clap, and that breaks the boxes. So it's not as bad as I thought, but it's still not great. And then the best Super Nintendo game that I got, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. So this was a game I'd been wanting for a while. I really liked Power Rangers as a kid, and heard that was a really good one. It's got Street Fighter controls. So there's a little meter on the bottom, and if it fills up, and once it fills up, if you do a special move, it actually fills up to a different color, and then eventually turns into lightning, where you can do a very special move. But you can do grabs, you can jump and attack. It's really cool. I actually beat this game the first day I got it. I was testing it out, and it was on easy. Then you get to Ivan Ooze at the end, and he gave me a little bit of trouble, but it's a really fun, very good fighting game. So if you like fighting games, or if you like Power Rangers, it's excellent. Give it a shot. And the last few games, we'll go with the PS4. So we'll start with the Steam World Collection. So I saw a YouTuber, How to Lose at Video Games. He had picked this up, I think, for the Wii U. I think that's what it's on. Or maybe it's PS4 version, I don't remember. So I saw it when I was at GameStop. It looked pretty good. So this has 2 games, Steam World Heist and Steam World Dig. Steam World Heist is a turn-based strategy game with shootouts. So you go around as these 2 robots at first. You can add more people to your party eventually. And you can only move so far on every turn. And if you move too far, you get tired, and you can't also attack in the same turn. But you can hide behind barrels, you can use explosives to attack people, you get different weapons and stuff like that. So it seems kind of interesting. Wasn't sure if I'd like it at first, but when I tried it, it seemed a lot of fun. And then Steam World Dig is a platform mining adventure. So your uncle dies, and you take over his mine, and you just dig through stuff, and you can upgrade your health, you can upgrade your mining equipment, you can get ladders to climb up to certain areas, you can get lamps to light your way, and then you get extra powers as you go. It's kind of cool. You can jump up along the wall, so even if you dig a shaft straight down, you can just keep jumping to get back up. I actually bought this game for that because it sounded more interesting than the turn-based strategy game, but I might like Heist a little bit better. But if you see those, definitely pick that one up. Next one, we got Bleed and Bleed 2. So it looks kind of confusing. It looks like it's Bleed 2, but it's actually 2 games. So this was from Play Asia, first time I've ordered from them. And I was watching Metal Jesus Rocks. Radical Reggie suggested it. It's a twin stick shooter. So this one comes with the 2 game discs. It's got manuals, the original soundtrack, They're very short games, and I think they're kind of tough. I'm not the greatest at twin stick shooter games. I know JR Man 331 mentioned it's very short. He got through them pretty quickly. I'm enjoying them. It's just a lot of like trial and error playthrough. When you get to the bosses, kind of just watch their movements, decide what to do. You can slow down time. You can also use these like dash jumps, but it's pretty fun. You get graded for every level, so there's a lot of replayability if you want to go through and do it without getting hit at all, that kind of stuff. So it's not bad. Actually, the price isn't terrible, even if they are short games. If you like twin stick shooters, definitely check it out. And then last, my favorite game of the month, and that is Cat Quest on the PS4. So, I've talked about my cats before. In fact, before my wife and I had Sophie, pretty much all the pictures on my phone were of video games, my wife and I, and then a lot of cats. So I took pictures of my cats all the time. My wife used to joke that I loved the cats more than her, which isn't true at all, but they are pretty great. So this was an action RPG that I saw JR Man 331 had. You go around as a cat fighting dragons. Like, how cool is that? It's a very simple premise. It's very simple. When an enemy is attacked, they have this like ring or other shape around them, and when it completely turns red, that's when they're going to attack, so you can roll out of the way. You can also get special attacks, and then you level up as you go. There's treasure chests to gain different weapons. It's a pretty short game. I beat it only a few nights by playing, so I probably beat it in less than 10 hours. But it's just a really fun action RPG, so if you like action RPGs, you like cats, definitely give it a shot. It's kind of cool. Yeah. So there you go. Those are my pickups for March of 2018. Let me know what you think. Did pretty good this month. I was supposed to be saving money for the Midwest Gaming Classic, but my birthday is tomorrow, April 2nd. And so I'll be getting money for that anyways. So look forward to doing a wish list video of the games I'm looking for at the Midwest Gaming Classic. And let me know if any of you are going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. Hit me up, Back in the Gamer and I'll be there. Catch up with us, play some video games, whatever. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, sorry, actually forgot 2 games because I don't have physical copies for them. So PlayStation was doing a 60% off sale on certain games, and so I saw 2 games that looked interesting, and they're only a couple bucks. You can get the physical copies for these games, but they were limited run games, so they're pretty pricey on eBay right now, so I said not worth it. First game I got was Oddworld, new and tasty. So I love the Oddworld games, they're so much fun. Abe's Exodus is my favorite. But Oddworld New and Tasty is a remake of Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, the first Oddworld game. And the graphics are great. You go around as Abe, saving the other Meducans at Rapture Farms because they are introducing new meat that they are made out of Meducans. Very puzzle-oriented, trying to figure out how to get through things, but you can also possess some of the enemies and then cause them to kill each other or to explode. And you just have to watch out for environmental hazards, so sometimes it's pretty funny to see Abe die. But it's a really fun game. I haven't played the original Abe's Odyssey enough to know how well it compares. I'll have to do that pretty soon. Next game I got was Shantae Risky's Revenge. Saw this game, and I really enjoy the Shantae games, so I want to try this one out. It's a lot of fun. Same thing, side-scrolling, action-adventure game. Go around trying to get the magic seals to stop Risky from taking over. So there's dungeons, and there's a boss. You get transformational dance moves. You can turn into different animals. So far I've only got the monkey, but then you can climb on walls and stuff. But it's a lot of fun. If you like the Shantae games, definitely check it out. I know it's not on sale anymore. I'm not sure what it's going for right now, but I believe I got it for $3 or $4 with that 60% off. So there you go. Now I'm finished. So again, thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Captain Algebra, signing off.